Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm excited. Man, I love doing reviews. I've done quite a few reviews on the channel, so today we're gonna extend that joy because there's a new review. A company by the name of Huion. I'm sure you guys know who Huion is. Huion agreed to pair up with me and do a short video tutorial using one of their tablets. I am super excited because I love diving into different companies' tech, seeing what it's about, see the fit and finish, and since I have a lot of experience, that's a lot of words, a lot of experience whenever it comes to tablets, all the way reaching back, we're going to reach way back in my career, all the way back to 1997, 98, whenever I first started delving into illustration and art. And I worked on some other tablets made by their competitors. At the time, I believe Wacom was the only creator of tablets. There might have been somebody else, but Wacom was kind of the go-to if you wanted to do that. But now there's a lot of tablet companies. I'm so excited. They're all like battling it out for supremacy. But Huion, like I said, agreed to do a collaboration with me, and we're going to utilize one of their tablets. Their creative pen tablets. Now, it's not a display tablet. It's a standalone tablet off to the side that you plug in. We're going to get into the minutia, I love that word, minutia, of the Inspiroy H580X. And we're going to do an unboxing first because you guys know how I love doing unboxings, you know. And then we're going to plug it in, we're going to draw something fun with it, and we're going to give an overall rating of the Huion tablet. Now, this isn't their high-end display tablet, so this is one of the tablets, again, that sits off to the side. You have to have a host machine, such as an all-in-one or a laptop or a desktop that you plug this into via USB, I believe USB-C. We'll see. Yep, USB-C. So they are stepping up in terms of the new cables and stuff like that. So here's the packaging that it came in. It's so much fun. It's about the size of my head, you know. And I love the graphic. I love whenever companies put artwork on their packaging. Companies, here's a little note. If you're not putting cool artwork on your packaging, you're missing out because this is daggum cute and daggum cool. So let's get started. And here we are, the unpackaging, one of my favorite things in the world. Oh my goodness, my gracious me. So, let's review some of the details. So, the width is 203.2 millimeters by 127 millimeters. So, based upon the packaging, I'm an average size guy, I'm 5'7", so you see my hand. In terms of the footprint of this item, it's not very big, so it's really good for just throwing in your bag, throwing, you know, getting in. A lot of people like huge tablets, but this is really good for travel if you need to go on a train or something and you've got a laptop or an all-in-one and you just want to set up. So it's not going to have a really big footprint. Second of all, in terms of pressure, they don't skimp on the pressure. 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, and of course I mentioned the USB-C plug-in, and also it's got 60 degrees of tilt. So all of these things combined with the items that you get in the box. So you get a little puck that you put your pin in. Of course, you get the cable, you get an instruction manual, and you get the tablet. So let's go ahead and open it up. How is the box? Well, the box is good. The fit and finish and the quality of the box is very good. It's very nice. It's got a nice supple feel to it. It's not flimsy at all. So whenever they shipped it to me, they shipped it in a yellow padded envelope. So they trust that, you know, it's not going to get crushed because of this box. So if they're willing to spend money on the box, put artwork on the outside, it's got this real nice throw print on the background that again is fun, and of course the Huion logo. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. All right, excellent. So right whenever I first open it up, got the tablet right here that's in a sleeve that's probably static. It's got a static cover, a rubber static cover over it, so it doesn't get static damage. And then, of course, the pin nibs. They really don't skimp on the pin nibs. There's quite a few in here. And it's labeled as gift. So that's really nice. Thank you, Huion, for that extra gift of the pin nibs. Let's go ahead and put the star of the show to the side, and we'll go ahead and pull out the peripheral items out of here. Box to the side. Okay. They put it in again, the static bag. So I presume that's the pin. Let's go ahead and empty everything out. Keeping it really simple. I love it. So this is the USB-C cable. Very nice. Looks like this is where you're going to plug it into plug it into the computer. So I presume, let's go ahead and see on the star of the show here. Oh, nice. Wow, this particular item retails for about $45.99 on the Huion website. I would classify this as a budget-minded tablet because this is not hundreds of dollars, which a lot of the tablets are these days. This has a textured back with rubber, with little rubber stop-a-doos, so whenever you have it on the table, like right here, it's not going to move whenever you're drawing. It's got some quick keys, which I did not expect. Wow, it's got quick keys. That is awesome. So let's go ahead and look around, see where I plug this in. Okay, so basically, plugs into the side. The cable will plug into the side like this, and it goes into your computer, your machine. So let's put this off to the side. Again, the fit and finish is fantastic. I'm comparing this with other tablets that are in the marketplace right now, from your XP Pen to your Sense Labs to your Wacom. And I gotta be honest, this has a matte surface. It's very nice. It's got a curve on the bottom so you're not hitting your wrist. I presume that it's ambidextrous, so it's going to be this way or this way, which is very nice. The plastic is very, very solid. It's got a nice weight to it. It's not overly heavy, but it does have a nice weight to it. So let's go ahead and look at the puck. Wow! So you get all these nibs right here in the puck, in addition to the nibs in the bag as a gift, so that's very nice. The puck is probably average quality. I would say it's not overly weighted. A lot of them are weighted on the bottom and do have grip. This has neither. However, it does have the pin nib removal tool with directions on the bottom that are debossed, which is really cool. So you don't have to worry about a decal coming off. Of course, here's the instruction manual for the Inspiroy. We'll go into that a little bit later, I suppose. Of course, the cable, and I love it whenever the companies do stuff like this. This is a cable wrangler. Wrangler, yeehaw! So I'm basically impressed so far. They've got a little logo right there. It's the little details at a $45 price point. It's hard to justify this combined with the USB-C, combined with this, combined with this. You know, all those things tell me that it's a premium quality item. So we're going to go ahead to the pen. The pen does not have a fancy case. It's just a box, which is fine for me. Again, you know, I'm not paying $1 million for this. And just as long as it works, just as long as everything's hunky-dory, I'm fine with it. So the Huion pen, it's nice. It's got a nice weight to it. It's very comparable to a lot of the other pens that I currently use in my repertoire. This does not have any eraser, but it does looks like it has a rocker, pre-programmable rocker button, and it's got really nice rubber to it, and it tapers at on the bottom here. And what's really nice is the nib itself goes to a point. A lot of them come out, and this lip right here will actually end up, if you're going in and you're doing some really nice shading and utilizing that tilt function, you'll actually hit the bottom of it. So this doesn't look like it does that. In addition, let's see if it passes the roll. Oh, it does roll. So I like the fact that it does have a flat surface right here. Again, it coincides with where the buttons are. So if I'm got the lights low, and I need to draw, I can pick up my pen. I know where that is based upon not only the flat surface, but also where the buttons are. So, all right, that's all there is for the unboxing. Let's go ahead and get started and hooking it up and drawing something fun. Okay, and here is the tablet paired with my Lenovo Yoga 920 Special Edition. So I'm not going to bore you with going to the website and downloading the driver and installing the driver. I just went ahead and did it. But to locate the website, it's huion.com/download. You download it to your machine, you double click, you follow the prompts. It's pretty simple. So setting up the Inspiroy H580X is easy, all because of this. What makes this, I mean, I've had different interfaces in different tablets that are really convoluted. It's hard to read. They don't show a picture reference of stuff. But what's really nice is you can scroll over. You can see with the tablet. I've already installed the tablet driver. It's active, so you scroll over the different areas on the picture reference of the tablet, and you can pre-program the quick keys, which I've already done. So what you would do is you would just click on one. You can give it, here they give you some pre-done stuff here. Pan, scroll, quick menu, fixed pressure sensitivity, so on and so forth. Or you click in the box, and since I've got my all-in-one flipped over, I'm not going to go ahead and do it, but you click in the box and then you press the corresponding key that you want on the keyboard, and it records it as a quick key on the tablet. Very simple, very easy. You can also specify working area. If you only want the tablet to activate in a small area on your screen, you can do that. I went ahead, and if you want to do custom area, you can do that as well. Screen ratio, if you have a different type of tablet, such as maybe an Android or something like that, you just need to specify the screen ratio that it has. So that makes a lot of sense. So then we go over here to the digital pen. And again, you scroll over the pen, and what's really cool is, again, it's a visual representation of what you have, and I think that's important to note. I have Windows Ink enabled because I'm on the Windows machine running Windows 11. You can specify game mode, probably if you want to do macros on your pen, really quick in game mode. And then, of course, you have the pressure sensitivity mode. I've already adjusted the pressure curve. And here's the deal. This was a little more difficult for me because I like my pen a specific way. And what I noticed about the Inspiroy H580X is in the middle with these two icons right here, you know, on the bottom set of the curve, it was really heavy. The pressure was really heavy. So what I did is I played around with some of these predetermined little buttons over here, and I just started drawing, and then I would go over to Photoshop and I would draw, and I would just literally go back and forth. It took me about 5 minutes to do it, and I got the proper pressure curve that I wanted overall for the machine. What's also cool, and this is something that is in some of the higher end programs, the driver user interface, is you can specify a program that you want it to interface with. So right now I've got all programs. So let's say I want to add Photoshop, because I've got Photoshop running. So here's Photoshop, and it goes it utilizes the all programs, which is the global setting, automatically, and then you can custom curve everything for that particular program. So every time you launch the program, it'll bring in that specific pressure curve for you. And of course, they've got their store right here, which is a quick key link over to their store to show you what's new, what's happening, or if there's anything out. Well, there you go, Chinese New Year. There is the sale going on right now, January 24th to February 10th. So let's go back, quit that. We'll quit that, and we'll launch Photoshop. What you're here to see me do is utilize the tablet. Now, I've seen a lot of other different, let's go ahead and start a document, 14 by 12, width, we'll do, yeah, that's fine. Create. Okay. So what you've seen a lot of other YouTubers do and people that get tablets, and I think that this is merited. This is a good way to determine just a basic quality, is that straight line test. And what I'm noticing, first of all, it's got a great straight line. Let's use my phone here. So I'm going to place it on the tablet. We'll just do a really quick. So the diagonal test is typically the test you want to utilize to determine whether or not it's going to have any shake, and you see that there is no shake. Now what I did notice is, again, I'll be going, and the pressure, see how this area right here, let's go ahead and make this brush a little bit smaller so you can determine, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So the pressure's good, like right here, a little bit more pressure, and then the instant I get kind of close to the full pressure, it really just, you see it goes from texture to full black. And I tried to dial that out the best that I could. And I'm sure that, as I progress through and utilize the machine and make adjustments, that eventually I will be able to get that out. But the pressure, it's like it has steps. So you have a nice curve, and then whenever you get to like a 75% pressure, then it goes full black. I can't get it like right here. I'll go full, and then boom. That's actually pretty good. That, like I said, it doesn't happen all the time. Let's make the brush a little bit bigger. And this is being so nitpicky to the point where it's kind of obscene. I'm being so nitpicky because I want you guys to understand, as an illustrator, the different programs that I utilize require different pressure curve settings. So in Photoshop, there's a lot of brushes. You can see I've got a ton of brushes here, and each one of them is going to have a different feel, a different pressure setting, a different curve. So again, dialing something in, it takes a little bit of time. See how now we've got nice pressure, and then it goes right there. So I started kind of pushing a little bit more. I'd say 75% pressure on this is 100% pressure. I want 100% pressure to be 100%. I want to see 90. So we're dropping off right at about, I'd say 75%. And, again, I can dial that. I can work it and see exactly, in that user interface to try and make it better. But this is kind of my happy medium. This is where I landed. Note to you guys as well, if you've got other tablets, and I'm sure this is in the documentation that I did not read. I read most of the documentation, but what I ran into pretty quickly, especially when I wasn't in Photoshop, was the driver was interfering with all of my other tablet drivers that I have on here from other manufacturers. So that's one thing you have to consider. Also, the speed, we talk about lag. This really doesn't have any lag. One, this is a very powerful machine, and it's got a graphics card, and it's a 8th generation i7, so, and it's got 16 gigs of RAM. So those things really matter whenever you're setting a tablet and thinking it's going to be really fast, which it is, but don't get upset at the tablet. If you're working, and let's say your brush, I'm going to go ahead and make this brush really big. Let's do 2,500. Let's do 3,000 pixels. So this is an obscene brush that I would probably never use in my illustration. And you can see you're going to be like, "Oh, the tablet's messing up. What is wrong with that? I mean, look at all the lag." That's not it at all. This is a very large texture brush. That's something that you have to consider whenever you're working. Working in Photoshop, and you can hear the machine turning on and its fan. It's going, "What are you doing? You're hurting me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You're hurting me so much." Big texture brushes like that take time to render, so don't blame the tablet for, large texture brushes like this. Now, whenever you go ahead and shrink the brush down, yay! probably that size, just for sketching. It's absolute perfection. And you see there's no lag at all. So, okay. So let's go ahead and draw. So what am I drawing today? I'm drawing a bird. You guys know that I love to draw birds. In general, birds and me are friends. Been drawing birds for quite a while. So I really like drawing them. If you see me kind of fumble here and there, I still haven't gotten used to the quick keys. So, and two, the way of doing this, I draw on the screen and I've got a quick key device on the left hand side, which, by the way, Huion sells. You can visit their store. I'm not sitting here pitching anything, but that is something that they do sell. You know, you have a little quick key device on the left hand side, and you can pre-program stuff. But I'm still getting used to, because I'm really a screen guy. So originally, this is how I was trained back. I'm sure some of you weren't even born yet, but you know, back in 97, 98, when I went to school, and I learned on a tablet like this. So it is like coming home. But in the same way, I don't really utilize the small tablet devices anymore. So if you see me kind of like mess up, then that's why. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, for those of you who are just here for the drawings, and you're like, come on, man, just draw. What I'm doing right now is I'm just putting in the rough sketch, the rough format, placement of items, you know, and trying to work out the forms of the bird. So this is going to be a parrot, I believe, a sort of like I don't know what this is called. It's just a parrot. I used to see these all the time down in South Florida. They're green. They're beautiful green parrot. It's not like I'm a macaw or anything, but it is, I mean, I would see hundreds of these all the time. When I lived down in Florida, they would be everywhere. When I lived in Sarasota, when I, you know, would visit Miami, they're very pleasant birds. And he's been eating, lay off the sauce, man. He's been eating a little bit too much bird seed. Because he's a little chunky, but that's okay. That's what we're doing. We're having fun today, right? We're having some fun. Maybe I'll give him a backpack or something. So far, what I'm feeling with the Huion tablet is the responsiveness. I like the form factor. It's very small. So, like I said before, whenever I was unboxing it, you can really take this pretty much anywhere. I mean, you could take it to the park if you have a laptop and hook it up to the laptop. I did see you could hook it up to a Samsung phone. This and a Samsung phone? Oh man, and putting like Sketchbook Pro on there or something, it would be absolutely phenomenal. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. I do have an iPad. I was wondering if I could hook it up to the iPad. That would be pretty sweet. Now, the iPad does have a very strong, especially the Pro, has a strong drawing form factor. But the problem with the iPad, and this is pretty much standard with all, you know, especially stuff like that, is going to be its limitation in its programs. You know, this particular tablet is not an all-in-one. It doesn't have an operating system. So it just pairs with whatever computer you have. And right now, like I said, I've got it paired with PC. And even though the iPad is great, its limitations are huge whenever it comes to, you know, to doing stuff like that and doing artwork. You know, Procreate's one of the only programs that you can utilize. I know Photoshop's there, Fresco, and some of the other stuff, but Procreate's been kind of that premier iPad program. But this tablet, you know, you pair it with any computer, and you've got a drawing surface right there at any time, which is fantastic. And the price point. Let's talk about the price point for a second. So I remember back in the day, whenever I started freelancing, and it was, I forget what year it was. Gosh, 2003? 2002. It was 2002, 2003. I started freelancing on a very limited basis. And I had to go out and buy a tablet like this. And I believe it was the Wacom Bamboo. Or it's just a Wacom 8-inch tablet. So back in those days, I mean, I think I paid $90, and $90 was a big deal for me back then, especially that I didn't, I was freelancing, I didn't have a ton of money, and I had to go out because Wacom was the only tablet you could really buy. I mean, everything else was really, I don't even think they had other companies that were manufacturing tablets. Huion, I don't know when they were founded, I'd have to look that up, but I had to pay $90 for the tablet. And it was okay. It wasn't great. I think back then it had maybe 400 levels of pressure sensitivity. 400 levels, guys. That's what we used to deal with back in the day. You guys now have like over 8,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. So back in those days, man, back in those days when I had to lug ice up a hill 2 ways. And I do sound like that, don't I? I'm sorry. $90. So this particular tablet retails for $45. Whenever I saw that, whenever they told me, I was like, okay. And I wasn't expecting I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting a lot, especially coming from a display tablet world. But $45. I need you to wrap your head around that for a second. Now, it's not wireless. It doesn't have Bluetooth, but it is wireless technology. There is no battery in the stylus, so it has that EMR technology that a lot of the industry bigwigs are utilizing in their lower budget tablet form factor. You're getting very high quality pen. You're getting very high quality tablet. So I think, based upon my initial swing here with this, as I'm trying to flesh out his head. I think this is a winner. I mean, how could you not think this is a winner? Recently, I had to travel a little bit, and all I had was this. All I had was this Lenovo. And I didn't have a secondary tablet, and I had to travel. And let me tell you, it was a headache because, first of all, the technology on this is a touchscreen. The stylus on this is absolutely foul. It doesn't have good pressure. It says it has 3,000 or 2,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, but it's bad. And, I really appreciate whenever a tablet puts the quality into their products from their more expensive tablets. Technology's changing all the time, and I always think it's funny, back in the day whenever I was younger, I remember my dad bringing home this box, and you're like, a box? And, of course, me being a young whippersnapper, I asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, what's this?" Because, my dad didn't talk to me that much. He was of the old school. Children should be seen and not heard. And he looks at me, and he kind of smiled, and he goes, "Son, this is a VCR." And I was like, VCR? What is that? Well, we'll be able to record and watch movies. And I said, wow, that looks expensive. Because it did. It looked big and heavy and expensive. And it was like $2,000. So that gives you an understanding. Technology, it's constantly changing and constantly getting less expensive. The miniaturization and the silicon and all that other stuff. You just wait a few generations and suddenly you can go down and buy yourself a $50 VCR. I think the last VCR I paid for was, oh my gosh, might have been 2002, 2003, whenever they were still selling them. And I think I paid $70 for it. And it had, it had all the amenities that my dad's $2,000 VCR, and it was a better quality and it lasted a lot longer. And of course, nowadays we don't have any of that. Even DVD players anymore are hard to find. So what am I doing? Drawing, talking about the Huion tablet here, and like I said, so far so good. I'm really enjoying that blinking you're seeing. Let's go ahead and full screen. That blinking you're seeing has nothing to do with the tablet. It's actually a Windows and Photoshop flaw. I've talked about it quite a bit on my channel, and whenever I go to full screen and get rid of the side menus, all is hunky-dory. So the rough sketch, how much do you put into the rough sketch? As much as you need to. You know, some people utilize that bottom sketch, that rough sketch, as, again, that roadmap, which is very important. Let's go ahead and thin him up. Give him a diet. He needs to go on a diet a little bit. You know, and they'll spend hours on the sketch, and believe me, that is important. But for this exercise, I'm just trying to show you some of the ins and outs and things about the tablet. You can hear that clicking sound, and again, that clicking sound is the quick keys, and I'm utilizing on the left-hand side, and you know, it's tight. It's got a tight feel to it, which is really cool. You know, again, the quality of the product is, I'd say, really up there with some of the very expensive tablets. I recently reviewed, let me see, what did I review? I reviewed an XP Pen tablet. I reviewed a SenSlide tablet. And back in the day, I reviewed Wacom. And let me tell you, this tablet, it's just as good as they are. And in some respect, based upon the fact that it was only $45. $45! You understand that? That's like a meal for 3. You know, last night we had Mexican, and my daughter, she's 22. She paid for us. I was like, yay, daughter paying for stuff. That's always nice. And it was $57. And we didn't go and eat a bunch of stuff. I think I had fish tacos, and, well, 3 of us had fish tacos, and my son had a cheese quesadilla. We didn't have drinks. So it was $57. So for $45, you can get yourself a very nice tablet to do some artworks with, and even as a spare, just to, like I said, throw it in your go bag. It's probably something that you could do. You can see that I'm putting in the wings very rough. Very rough. And birds have different, like I've said this before, different types of wings. They do different things. The long wings, the short wings, the tufted feathers underneath. I watched a documentary recently, which was absolutely phenomenal, about owls and how certain breeds of owls, I think it might be the barn owl, and then there's the white snowy owl, like Hedwig from Harry Potter. They have the feathers underneath. They are sound deadeners, and whenever they fly, they glide through the air. And they did a test, and they had one fly overhead, because I believe it was trained, and they flew it overhead, and they had sound equipment, and you couldn't hear anything. So it's completely silent. That's mind-boggling. And I think, you know, whenever they're hunting, they need that, because they showed a mouse, of course, drama. They showed a mouse. He was afraid because he was going to get eaten, and rightfully so. He was going to get eaten. Okay. And they said they can feel the vibration of the wind coming from normal birds like hawks and stuff like that, but not the owls. The owls are specifically designed, raptors, hunters. Okay, a little bit of... Okay, let's go back to black, Now what I'm doing is I'm just going to start putting in some of those really, whoops, make sure they were in black, yes, finer details, just to show you the prowess of this tablet. It's phenomenal, guys. I mean, for a standalone, like I said, I don't use them a lot, so I'm sure the technology has really improved since I last used. Now, the SenseLab tablet that I used, it was good, don't get me wrong, but it's expensive. You know, it's got a great quality, a great form factor, but whenever you factor in the fact that it's almost $300, I want you to throw that in your brain. $300. So, as an industry professional, you know, I want the best equipment that I can buy, but also as a father, as a human being, as somebody that doesn't have money growing on trees yet, I want to make sure that I get the best for my money. You know, would you go down and spend tons of money on something just for the fact that you can spend the money. I know some people do, and I don't see the point in wasting money. So that's why this tablet's a goodbye. It's goodbye. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys on time lapse, and we're gonna go ahead and draw, so we can finish this parrot, so the video won't be a million years long. Okay? Enjoy the time lapse. Alright, and here's where we landed. Put in a simple background just to kind of get him off that gray, that dull gray background. I work on gray because it's a mid-value, so whenever I go to put in my darks and my lights, I don't have to fight against that white paper. So, overall, I think that the Huion tablet is absolutely phenomenal. Form factor, quality, price, all of those things, those attributes that it possesses allowed me to create this rendering of a parrot. So overall, I think that if you decide to go out and purchase the Huion tablet, the Huion Inspiroy H580X. I think that you guys will not be disappointed. At $45, you would call it a budget price pointed tablet, but man, it does not skimp on the quality, on the pressure sensitivity, on the cables, on the matte surface, on just the quality. The plastics is really good, and you see, you can create professional level work with it. You know, I'm always one of those guys that really looks at the bottom line. Right? Bottom line being, how much did it cost? What is the return for my investment? You know, I don't know how long this tablet will last. You know, only time will tell. But based on my experience, the quality and the fit and finish of the products, the easy usability, all of those things factor in to the fact that it still only cost $45, and there's a lot of return there, you know. A lot of people are so focused on display tablets. I gotta have a display tablet. I gotta have a display tablet. But the bottom line is, a lot of people can't afford those display tablets. You know, they're hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and they stop themselves from creating beautiful digital artwork. You don't need a display tablet to create beautiful artwork. You can get a tablet like this, and you can you know, you can start experimenting and eventually save up your money, buy a display tablet, and then, you know, move on to the next level. We're all at different levels in our career and our artistic journey. And this is just a great tool that I think would be a great addition to anyone's repertoire. You know, I've got many display tablets. I've got your iPads, your all-in-ones, you know, display tablets. And a lot of times, whenever they have touch enabled, it creates a real frustration, but this doesn't have any of that. So if you're looking to pull the trigger on a tablet and you're not looking to break the bank, and you want something that's going to last, and it's got ease of usability, and it's portable, and it's got great interface with not only Mac OS but also Android. You can plug it into an Android phone, or you can use it in the Windows environment. So that being said, I've got not affiliate links. I've got links in the description below, as per my collaboration with Huion. They sent me this tablet free of charge, so it is not a plug. I'm going to be honest with you. If this tablet had been bad, this you know, this would have been a different situation. But it's a great opportunity for those looking to kind of get in and experiment in the digital art world. So hopefully you guys like the drawing today. I know that I've been doing a lot of portrait sketches and stuff like that lately, and that's going to continue, as well as animals and reviews. 2022 is going to be a little bit different for the channel, so hopefully you guys like the channel. Definitely please hit that notification bell, like and subscribe if you like what you see, and as always, go out and create something beautiful, you know, in the world, or you know, in your studio, or just get out and enjoy the sunshine. You know, a lot of times as artists, especially industry professionals, we get in there and we get into our studio and we haven't seen the sunlight for days. So definitely go out and do that, and we'll see you next time. Okay, guys? Thanks. Bye.